side of last with every order that she served as a waitress on Alice. We are so excited to see her back on television on the new hit series Conrad Bloom. Take a look at this.
8 hours.
17 hours.
8 hours back labor.
17 hours, no epidural.
8 hours back labor, 9 pounds, 12 ounces.
17 hours, no epidural, and a head the size of a honeydew. Be careful who you play with, sweetheart.
Would you please welcome Linda Lavin?
All right. How are you, Linda?
I'm very well. I love that clip. You know, you never know what you're going to see, and it is. The show is funny and unconventional as that, and I love doing it. I love the people. It's, you know, one of those experiences about getting up and going to work every day where you're happy to go to work.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen all the time, so I'm very grateful.
Same thing here. We just love
Yeah.
coming to work. We're very lucky.
Your timing as a
and
comedian.
everybody loves you.
Oh,
Thank
you're so
you.
nice.
Yeah, and I can see why.
Well, you are so sweet.
It's true.
Now you play Conrad Bloom's mom.
I play his mother, yes.
Okay.
Yes, and he's in advertising, and I'm recently widowed, and he has a sister named Nina, and she's just moved in to live with me, something I was dreading. There was a line in the show where he says, "How would you like Nina to live with you?" And I say, "You mean after I'm dead?" So, and then she moves in. She moves in, and we're about to move in to focus the show more on the family, on Conrad, his mother, and his sister. So we're
It's
about
a
to
fun
do
relationship.
Yeah, it is, and people are really responding to that relationship. So I'm very happy to be here, to be working, and to be on your show, and to have this new hit comedy, and to be seen again.
Well,
it's very nice.
We've got to go back a few years to
Yeah,
Alice.
sure.
It ran for 9 seasons. You were
Yeah.
so funny in Alice. It was a great show.
Thanks.
Why do you think Alice was so successful?
Well, because she represented over 80% of all women who work in this country, who are the blue and pink collar working women. Because she was a single mother in a time in the late 70s when nobody was talking about that stuff. Because she represented economic necessity in the ways that women who were talented in other areas still had to work in those blue and pink collar jobs to make ends meet, to raise a kid. We did an episode called 86 The Waitresses once when Mel hired a guy, and I'm sitting at the counter talking to the guy who's just had his interview, and I say, "So, you know, how did it go?" He said, "I got the job," and he tells me what he's making, which is like twice what we're making. And he says, "Why, what are you getting?" And I said, "Rooked." And it's, you know, and it's true that women are still making 74 cents to the dollar that men are making for the same quality of work. Now, this is 20 years ago.
Wow.
So things haven't changed that much, although things have changed. So what Alice represents still to this day, and Alice is now over 50 and her kid has grown up, is Alice is probably in that sandwich generation, taking care of her parents, and her kid is probably divorced and has a kid and has come home to live with her. This is the way things are, and so she's very real as a character, as a woman, as a mother, as a working woman in this country who needed that job to sustain herself.
A lot
and
of
her
people
children.
can relate to that.
Yeah, and it was funny.
Yes, right, on top of all
That's what I
that.
was going to say. On top of all of that, it was a very funny show.
Yeah.
Periodically, and not every show can say it, but you had a line come from there that was truly an Alice show line, but it wasn't
Flo.
yours, but it was Flo's.
Flo.
It was,
Oh,
what was
yeah.
it, Kiss My
Kiss My
Grits?
Grits. Yeah.
Kiss my grits.
Where did that come from?
People just yell that out to me on the street as if, you know, what am I supposed to do about that?
Where did
Right.
it come from? How did it happen?
Well, you know, it's a sort of a euphemism for another expression, but it comes from the South, you know. It comes from the South, which is where Flo came from, and Polly Holiday, who played Flo, came from the South. And boy, people
Yeah, she's
remember
great.
her really, really well. they loved the characters. They loved Mel, they loved Vera and Flo, and then later Jolene, who was played by Celia Weston, a wonderful actress, and Tommy. I mean, we're now raising our third generation of kids because we're on the E network now in reruns.
Right.
So we were on for 9 years, then we were on for another 5 years. I just got a check from some country I've never even heard of. So we're on it. You go to Europe and you see yourself speaking perfect Italian.
I know. That's happened to us.
Yeah, we were
Dub it in
we were
other
in
languages.
17
Isn't it
languages.
thrilling? Don't you
It is
see how
fun.
smart you are?
I
that
know,
you
it's
can
amazing how smart you are.
I have to ask you, is it true that you kept your uniform?
Oh, yeah. I have actually kept one and I've given one away to a charity auction. Now this one, I can't get into it anymore. I don't know why. It's a little short. But it's been a few years, you know, but I keep it, I treasure it. And also I had a tip purse that I designed. And it was very ahead of my time. It was before belly packs, but I always thought she should have like a little red, does anybody remember this? That little red purse that hung from her waist to put her tips in. And then they said to me, no, you all have to pull your tips. It was like being in prison to be on that show. I couldn't even use my tip. But I wore it as a costume piece. I still have that.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
You know, your life has been so full, and you truly are a talented lady. It's so nice to have you on the
You're
show.
very kind. Thank
And
you
now
very much.
Conrad Bloom is on.
Monday nights at 8:30 on NBC.
NBC.
All right.
Make
Yeah.
sure you watch.
Yeah.
Good luck with it. Thank you so much. Linda Lavin.
Coming up, an intimate look into the life of Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis.
$1 million winner.
Imagine that, $1 million.
And actress Annette Bening sing with Neil Diamond.
They're going to sing anyway.
Next, Rosie.
Today at 4 on 5.